What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dice Monday podcast. Today we are in the city, Regent's Park. We got another running episode, and our guest today, Jack Colquhoun. Jack, welcome to Dice Monday podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolute pleasure. We were introduced by a mutual friend, Chloe Truffett.
Yes.
I know you know her boyfriend quite well.
Yes, one of my best mates. We used to work together, and yes, very good mates.
Nice. Okay, so let's get into it. Tell me a little bit about where you're from, who you are, where you grew up.
So, I grew up in Australia, down south in Melbourne. Graduated high school this way.
Yeah.
And then moved to the northeast coast of Australia. Did my undergrad. Wanted a little bit more.
Right.
So I ended up moving to the US.
What was your undergrad?
I did finance and portfolio management.
Okay.
And then moved to the US to play college football.
Yes.
And do my masters there as well.
So tell me about the college football, because it looks like on your profile that you were pretty in it.
Yeah, it was good fun. I played D1 football for 3.5 years, and yeah, had a great time, had a good career.
You were a quarterback, eh?
No,
QB.
I was a punter.
Oh, you were a punter.
I was a punter.
Okay.
So just kicking balls for 3 years.
Because Angus was a QB in his time.
Oh, really? I was what do we call it? Fourth down quarterback.
Okay.
So I have one attempt for an interception.
Right.
And then one fake that I ran for 23 yards.
So did you not have like a career pursue for American football?
No. Oh, I mean, I always wanted to. So I was about to get drafted into the CFL in Canada.
Right.
But I'd already moved to New York then, so I was done with football, and I was like, it's real life.
Yeah.
Kind of get ready for what that presents and what that will be.
So you moved to New York to sort of follow the financial career?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to live in New York. I was already in the US, so I wanted to live in New York.
Yeah.
And just got any job, started working in recruitment of all industries.
Yeah.
And then spent 4 years living in New York, and I just moved here 2 months ago now.
So what brought you to London?
A new job.
Sun-shining London.
Yeah.
Oh, so you followed the career.
Yeah, I got a new job. Always wanted to live in London, so I'd been living in New York, working between London the last 3 years.
Right.
And then I was like, it's time to move here.
Yeah.
I've done no travel in Europe, so I wanted to lifestyle choice be in London, of the sunny city that it is.
Yeah.
But like be close to the rest of the world that I had not been to really growing up at all.
Right. So did you live so when you say that, you were quite coastal in Australia. So I was Cape Town.
Yes.
Pretty similar. Cape Town did have a bit of a city vibe.
Yes.
But you were like coastal, you wanted a bit of the hustle bustle, New York, London.
Yeah, I think like it's kind of a pipe dream for any Australian. There's lots of Australians living here and in New York, and it's just so far away from home that it's like
a challenge.
You go there on holidays and you see Times Square and you end up living there and you want to stay as far away from Times Square as you can. But
yeah,
when you grow up, you see New York in the movies, and it's like, it was just a dream.
Yeah.
So made it happen, which is cool. And
yeah, that's sick.
Now we're here in London.
And when did your running career start?
I'd always been a runner. So my mum was a long distance runner. My auntie was a very successful national track and middle distance athlete.
Okay.
And then my grandpa was cross country coach. So it's been in the family for a long time.
Yeah.
So the genes were
there,
laying dormant for a while.
You've got the bull.
And then I think, what is it?
Laying
it usually takes it took a breakup to be to start running marathons.
It's either COVID or a breakup. It's one of the two.
Yeah. So I think COVID started it, because when I was playing football during COVID, and I think I spent 3 months of that year in quarantine. So I was like, I should start running. And then from there it kind of developed into, I actually really enjoy this. And then when I moved to New York, huge running community like there is here in London.
Yeah, the New York Marathon is obviously spoken about like crazy.
One of the greatest days of my life.
Yeah.
And then met one of my best friends in New York. He was a runner, and it kind of just became the everyday thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and tell me, so did you do the New York Marathon last year?
I did.
And
I did.
how was the race?
It was amazing. Yeah, last year was a massive year in life in general, but
Yeah.
finished it running the marathon, and I mean, it was a perfect, like, blue sky, sunny day.
Lovely.
Family flew out from the US. My best friend, he was in Texas, so he wasn't there, and then flew in, just got into New York as I passed him with my family.
Okay.
And then
I saw the video.
running,
Yeah.
ended up running, I think it was almost a 40-minute PB. So
Yes.
yeah, it was a great day. It was a great day.
Okay, so let's dive into what happened to you last year. I know you said that you are willing to speak about it.
Yes,
You're obviously
yeah.
diagnosed with testicular cancer.
Yes. Yep.
How did you receive that information? Talk me through that.
Yeah. So it was a big shock to the system. I actually had no idea about it until I got back to Australia. So I left my job in January of last year, and in our industry you have a period of non-compete, so I had a lot of time where I had to take, like, forced vacation essentially.
Yeah.
And in that time I went back to spend time with my family, and I was flying back from New York to Australia, and during the New York leg of the flight, really bad pain in my lower abdominals, and I was like, I don't really know what's going on here. So I was like, I need to get back to Australia.
So was it like cramp pain?
Yeah, it was like when your stomach drops on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It was like that feeling, but it wouldn't go away.
Okay.
So I didn't want to stay in the US because I left my job. I had no insurance. So I was like, I have to get back to Australia. Took the flight, got home. The pain was no better. Went to my GP, and then we went and got a ultrasound, and then it wasn't any better till the end of the day. Went to the emergency room. I got admitted to a bed 4 hours later.
Wow.
And the emergency doctor read my ultrasound, and she just was like, yeah, we think this is cancer.
Sure.
So within 24 hours or 12 hours of being back in Australia, I was diagnosed with cancer, and I spent the next week in hospital.
Yeah.
I had emergency surgery 2 days later.
Was that feeling when you got that news quite scary? Yeah? I mean, I can only imagine. But like, people picture it, but you don't really know till you're in that position.
Yeah, it was pretty terrifying. My family has a history with cancer on my mum's side.
Okay.
So it's, claimed a few family members' lives. So
Sure.
that was something that came into my head immediately. Like, you don't want to be a pessimist, but you know what history your family has, and you kind of start thinking about, is that the same fate that I have for myself?
Yeah.
So it was, yeah, I thought I'd never thought I'd think basically.
Yeah.
And sitting alone, sleeping alone in
Yeah, that must
a
be
hospital bed for a week
with your own thoughts.
with your own thoughts, with an undecided fate. Yeah, it was crazy, but I'm here now. It's the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. It's changed how I view the world. It's changed how I look at my own health.
Yeah.
The relationships I have, and just my own general level of confidence in the world for myself has increased exponentially, because I think one thing I live by now is, like, your second life begins when you realize you have one.
Yes, love that.
So that's kind of my, like, mantra now, and it's just allowed me to really live life to the full, I guess.
Yeah, that's such an amazing outcome. But now, did running change for you when you made that mental shift after getting diagnosed?
I don't think it did. For me, running has always been a deeply spiritual experience.
Yeah.
An inquisition of the mind, I call it, because I typically run alone. I like running alone because you spend time in your head, but you also get out of it at the same time.
Yeah.
So for me, it's been, how can I expand my own mental resilience through running? I like cycling as well.
Okay.
But the difference between the two is, if you stop pedaling, you keep moving.
Yes.
If you stop running, you stand still.
Yeah.
And it's that constant desire to will yourself to keep going. And I think there's just so much to learn about yourself through running.
I think when you said there that you're in your own head while you run, I can relate, but at least it's very positive.
Yes.
So it's like all your endorphins are pushing your brain to a place where it's almost fictional, where,
Yes.
where you're dreaming of where you want to be.
Yes.
And it's such a positive mindset, and then you're thinking about the next race, you're
Yes.
thinking about what do you want to do next. It's all positive.
Yeah. And for me, I'm a big music guy. I love music. I love all types of music. So I mix the two, running and music, together, and it's just a thing that I really enjoy doing when I can combine those two things
Sure.
together as well.
But do you have to hold yourself back in a way because your body's been through a traumatic event?
Honestly, no. I think for me, I use, like, God gave us a brain, God gave us a body. You know, we do our jobs to expand the capacity of our brain and how we think. But we also have a body, and I use that in my running to, like, what is my real capacity?
Yeah.
What is my true capacity? How far does my physical capabilities extend? And I think running, you can find that. Ultra marathons, marathons, races in general,
Absolutely.
you get to find where is that threshold for yourself, but then you also can continually push it further.
Absolutely. The reason why I ask is because my friend had a bit of a kidney failure once.
Yes.
And so he's been told he can't run marathons.
Yeah.
So I suppose there are parts of the body that when they shut down, you
Yes.
just have to hold yourself back a little bit.
Yeah.
He can
yeah.
still run. So that's why I was just asking, did that cancer sort of leave a mark on the body that you have to monitor?
Not anything that I have to monitor. I think for me it was a period of, I had to learn how to essentially walk again. I spent a month walking with a cane.
Yeah.
Sleeping on my back like Count Dracula, just laying in bed like this. So, that period of really
Recovery.
respecting my body and letting it heal, something all runners, I think, are frustrated by injuries.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't run for 2 weeks, like I'm gonna go insane. I couldn't run for 6 weeks. And that, mental aspect of not having what you want, which is always there, which is running,
Yeah.
taught me a lot more other things about, respecting time, giving yourself time to heal. And I think that allowed me to come back stronger. And I mean, February was when I was diagnosed. Fast track to November, running a 40-minute PB and
Yeah. Crazy.
having one of the best running days of my life. It's, the duality of the body
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Did you feel like you came to such a peak of emotional state there at the end of that run? Did you tail off afterwards? Post-race blues?
No, I think it was just a general appreciation of, like, what the body can do when you really set yourself a goal.
Yeah.
I had shin splints during my marathon block, and I almost rolled my ankle the week of the race.
Wow.
So just learning to trust the process,
Yeah.
respect your body, and also do things that might not be running, but getting on the bike,
Yeah.
doing some cross training,
Cross training, so important.
and
I
how
always
much
talk
that can
about that.
and how much it can help.
Yeah.
I was on the bike a couple sessions a week the last 3 weeks of my block, and I think it did amazing things for where I ended up race day, and
I
just
love the bike.
my overall body preservation, muscle preservation, all that stuff as well.
So talk to me, because we talk about cross training. So if
Yes.
you talk about, do you have a coach? How do you plan your weekly blocks?
I don't have a coach. I would say it's just vibes, basically. Everything that I do is more or less long and slow, and then I'll do something fast once a week, or if my playlist changes up mid-run
You'll have
and
a go.
and I catch some drum and bass or something, I'll drop and do a quick couple of Ks. But everything for me is learning to enjoy running slower.
Well, I absolutely love that. And two things I want to bring up, because running slower is a massive thing. People talk about base running, base training.
Yes.
Are people doing enough? When people come up to their run, they get too excited. They want
Yes.
to push the body.
Yes.
But the other thing is, are people taking running too seriously?
Well, I think, COVID's been amazing of showing people how good running is for you. not only from a community perspective of coming back together after a period of isolation, but how good it is for your body longevity wise. But
Yeah.
I think everything is, what is it? Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah, someone
And
said that to me the
everything
other day.
And everything now is Strava segments and splits. And I was someone I didn't want to post anything on Strava unless it was like unbelievably quick or abnormally
You were
long.
under that social pressure.
Yeah, and I think from my illness I'd learned that, I really had to start from zero again. So why not show the process, but also show what's involved and required to run a good marathon time.
Yeah.
Because it isn't running 4-minute Ks every run for 10 weeks.
Yeah.
It's the long and slow Sunday jogs with friends that probably do, obviously do better for you than going out and running quick every day.
Well, I think, it makes you enjoy the process more, and I'm loving what you're saying, because so many people go out and train like me. I follow my training block.
Yes.
I've got this to do today.
Yes.
It's 4 times X, Y, Z, 7 divided by,
Yes.
and it's so strict, and I feel like there's no joy in the week of training.
No, and that's where at times I love having a schedule and a block because it holds you accountable.
Yeah.
But it's also like sometimes the training session is literally just showing up and doing the run.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if it's like super slow and you stop and you walk for a bit. It's just getting out there, getting some fresh air in, starting the day strong or finishing the day strong. And that's all that matters sometimes.
100%. And what I've done better is what you just said there, is I take off the run if I'm not feeling it.
Yes.
I'm not going to push the body. Like we said earlier, some of these guys following the AI training,
Yes.
they'll have a hard mental day at work,
Yes.
still go and pump a massive run,
Yes.
and then get injured or feel fatigued or feel mentally drained.
Exactly. I think a lot of these newer AI/LL driven, training plans
Yeah.
they obviously take the mental aspect out of running because there is no coach behind it.
Yeah.
There is no take today slower, you've had a busy day, or you just got out of a relationship and you're struggling emotionally.
Yeah.
Let's not run, 8 times 4K at threshold pace. Let's just do a 20-minute slow run.
Yeah.
And then go and listen to Olivia Dean on your couch. Cook a bowl of pasta and just, listen to some sad music.
Sounds like you've been here before.
I mean, haven't we all?
100%. That's so funny. But I completely agree with you. I mean, you got to play within your means, within your own, and you got to listen to your body.
Yes.
The external noise is the problem.
It always is and always will be. I think we live in an age where everything is a battle of comparison.
Yeah.
I like fashion, and you go on Instagram and it's like you're competing against, well, not competing, but it's like someone's gonna look cooler than you,
Yeah.
or someone's gonna have nicer, more expensive things than you. But if you're truly living in the moment for yourself, and that spans anything in life,
Yeah.
like nothing truly matters.
Yeah.
And I go back again to what I went through last year, and like no one could help me on my journey. No one could fix me.
Yeah.
It was all on the way I approach things. Obviously using the community around me, but it was all driven by what I wanted to get out of this experience.
Yeah.
When you apply that to everything else, the only person that you truly have in life is yourself. And when you're comfortable and feel safe within yourself, then it spans into every other aspect of your life.
Such an important topic, and I think it's difficult to try and say this the right way, but like only people that have had an experience like you are able to think like that.
Yes.
Because we think very like in our own little bubble. So I've lived a very vanilla life. No one's died that shouldn't have, should I say. Haven't gone through that sort of hardship, that scare.
Yes.
I've had my own mental problems, anxiety,
Yes.
which kind of did set me back and
Yes.
put me in a good place to move forward.
Yes.
But everyone needs that little moment within their own life to get knocked down so that they can get back up.
Yeah, I think, adversity is the best way to build strength.
Yeah.
I think, whatever aspect of life that is, losing a job, losing a partner, losing a family member, or losing yourself mentally, how can you, it sounds cliche, but how can you be that phoenix that rises from the ashes? What can I learn from these experiences? You know, how can I better connect with the people around me to grow, not only myself but others as well.
Yeah.
Those moments really only come from adversity. So again, that's why I love running. It's a physical, you know, sense of adversity, but how can you grow from that? What can you learn?
But now tell me, how do you handle the fear of maybe getting it again, or the lingering? Do you suffer from that? Because as someone that struggles with anxiety, fear is what drives it.
Yeah.
Do you struggle with fear that it might come back and all those sort of things?
I think it's always going to be something that's in the back of my mind. And, you know, I've had my fair share of anxiety. It's something that I still deal with myself from time to time. And I used to be driven by fear.
Right.
In a way of, I need to do this at work, or else, you know, in my head I might get fired, or I need to do this right for this person, or they might see me in a bad light. And it really changed how I presented myself to others, but also to myself. So I think this diagnosis, it made me realize that I can't live this way anymore, because I really attribute that sickness to stress and anxiety. Like, I was in the physical peak of my life January last year. I'd never looked better, never felt better.
Which is crazy.
I was so fit, but it's still, you know, I was still diagnosed with cancer. It doesn't discriminate on health.
I read your note that it can take anyone.
Yes.
At any time.
Yeah, it can. You know, I lost my auntie in COVID to cancer, and she was, you know, you'd look at her and she was a beautiful woman. You know, physically she was in shape, but, you know, ultimately cancer took her life, sadly.
Yeah.
And it's something that never discriminates.
Yeah. So unbelievable. I want to stop here so we can take some nutrition. Otherwise, we're not going to make the end of the run. I can see Jack starting to struggle already. That's for you.
Canadian maple, let's go.
Yes, sir. Actually sold out.
Oh, that's delicious.
Just maple syrup and Himalayan salt. That's all it is. That's all it is.
That's really good. No joke.
No
that's
plug,
really,
yeah.
No, I didn't know this was happening. This is delicious. Wow. It's hard to find good stuff.
Yeah.
When this is not sold out, I'm going to come knocking. Wow.
There you go. Okay, so let's talk about nutrition on that note.
Okay.
Walk me through your New York Marathon. What did you take, and how did you practice prep with the nutrition?
I mean, shout out to my sister. She had me absolutely dialed in.
Nice.
Her thesis to nutrition in a marathon was drink when you're not thirsty and eat when you're not hungry.
Yeah.
When you're thirsty or hungry, it's too late. So I ate every 20 minutes on the minute. I ate.
Sure, that's quick. That's a lot.
Yeah. I was eating, we're a bit of a granola family, so I was eating dates, and I was eating
Dates are good.
What was it? Some like natural lollies.
So this is interesting. You were eating whole foods.
Yes.
No gels.
No gels. Well, again, just like we spoke about, the stomach issues from gels I got really bad runner's tummy.
Yeah.
So the second half of my block was a lot of experimentation. What works, you know, different types of candy, different types of chewables, where I could spend some time, you know, not thinking about the run itself, but kind of distract myself with a little bit of food.
I'm a whole food guy. I had baby potatoes in my Ironman.
Oh, wow.
No gels.
Yeah,
till the run.
I mean, it's the way. I think, you know, what do we spend our time eating? You know, whole foods.
Yeah.
Why are we going to change that and eat goo during a race where our body needs to be appropriately satiated?
The only thing I would say is that if you're going at a high heart rate and a quick pace,
Yes.
sometimes it can be hard to digest
We can.
something whole, like a baby potato. Maybe a sweet can be fine.
Yes.
Because I find it's quite hard to chew. You're breathing hard.
It is. And I'd only eat on downhills.
Right.
So I would try and time it where it was flat like this, or we'd be running downhill where it's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And then fluid-wise, I had soft flasks in my hands, and I had Himalayan salt electrolytes.
Perfect.
So no Gatorade. I'm not a Gatorade guy. It's bad for you. Honestly, drink lemon juice, Himalayan salt water.
Fuck Gatorade.
And yeah, literally. Gatorade was great in the 90s, but now they fill it with shit, and it sucks. So I carried around them. My family was great during the race. we had like checkpoints where I'd change over
Right. Is that legal?
flasks. Where I'd change over
Right. Is that legal?
flasks.
To take from the crowd.
Who knows? I'm just an average Joe, so who cares? But yeah, so we had that as well. Again, I wanted to make sure I was appropriately hydrating too,
Yeah.
and you got to drink the right stuff now. Like, there's so much out there. These protein drinks, these protein bars.
Yeah.
They look good on the outside, but they're full of preservatives. They're full of additives.
Yeah.
Food colorings. Like, it's not good for you.
No,
We're
it's
sold
crazy.
a pipe dream of health, but you really have to take control again.
Yeah.
And that was another thing from, what I'd been through was you have to prioritize your health and what you consume. We're sold so much on health and wellness, but look at the back of the box
Yeah.
and see what's actually in there. And we're just sold a marketing dream more than
All
we're
those
sold a health
sunflower
dream.
oils. It's
Yeah,
all
the emulsifiers and the lecithins, they're so inflammatory for your body.
So what would you eat in terms of like a bar? Like, is there a solution?
Well, fortunately, my sister she has a startup. She's a whole food chef, and she's building like a suite of products that are geared around athletes
Okay.
that are very health conscious. So I
What's
was
it
very
called?
lucky to have her support. It's called Muselli. So
Okay.
she does granolas, but she's in the process of launching more athlete appropriate overnight oats and like granola bars.
Lovely.
So I had a
London.
and I have, yeah, literally.
Yes.
I'm trying to get her to come here. Ellie, you got to come. But I've been very lucky that, my mum had cancer when I was 8 years old. So we've studied the lineage between diet and disease as a family for a long time.
Interesting.
So that's really impacted the way I approach, the way I eat, the way I look at health,
Yeah.
and my philosophy around food.
So what's the biggest piece of advice you could give me off the top of your head that the everyday person is missing?
I think it's go back to basics. Nothing is going to satisfy your macros in a small little bar or a drink. Like, it's eating whole foods.
Are you happy with the whole foods off the shelf? Or are we talking organic or?
I mean, that's a whole other conversation of health. Health foods has become a luxury good now.
Yeah.
Consuming
expensive.
consuming organic foods is a luxury good. It's expensive, and I know it's not means of consumption for everyone, but if that's not the case, then bring it back to just whole foods. What can I eat?
Yeah.
That is something that I cook myself. Nothing. You're sold a pipe dream on health if there's a prepackaged meal that's going to satisfy all your hunger and your kind of nutrient needs.
Yeah.
For me, I'm very fortunate where I can shop at a farmer's market. One, I'm supporting local businesses, but two, I also know I'm supporting my own longevity as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so interesting because I take diet quite seriously and I focus on whole foods. And my simple way of looking at it is I have non-negotiables.
Yes.
So I have beetroot, I have salmon once a week,
Yes.
celery, like all those basic things
Yep.
in my salad
Yep.
that you might not see that regularly.
Yep.
But it's a non-negotiable for me every week. But
Yep.
I do struggle with the sugars and the cookies and the chocolates, especially
mean,
when I'm
I
in these
was,
high training blocks.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing as well. Like, there's a level of flexibility. I think being a runner is great because we burn so many calories that
Yeah.
you can treat yourself at the end of a run, and
So I don't have to feel bad.
Yeah, it won't necessarily touch the sides. I have a Tony's block sitting in my pantry. Shout out Tony's.
Yeah, I love a good Tony's.
So my Saturday long run, like, I'm gonna treat myself with a little, no Olivia Dean, but maybe a movie and some Tony's chocolate. So it's like,
Love that.
it's like, getting a bit nerdy here, but like, you're like a grey Jedi. The light side and the dark side of the force of health is I spend a majority of my time focusing on whole food consumption, but like, live a little.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've learned from, what's happened last year. Life can be taken from you very quickly. So,
yeah.
you want to be able to go out and enjoy the things, obviously as a treat. Don't make it the main focus of what you're consuming. But
Yeah.
like, man,
100%.
I love chocolate. I'm still gonna eat it.
Yeah.
That's never gonna go away.
You're talking to literally the chocolate man. There's a slab of chocolate in the house, doesn't last one second.
Yeah, like, I'm a little rat when it comes to treats. So I just sniff them out and they're gone.
Okay, tell me, so let's just shift back to running. I want
Yes.
to talk about your 3:06 marathon.
Yes.
What are you changing in your strategy to get the sub 3?
I think upping my mileage. So when I did my block, I was only running 45 kilometers a week.
Right.
My peak week was marathon week, which included the marathon, which was 65.
Okay.
So I think for me, the biggest thing to change is looking after my body more and that of stretching. I like yoga, so doing a lot more yoga.
Yeah.
But just upping my miles.
What was your longest single run pre-race?
22k.
Okay. So probably just upping that to
a bit
30.
abnormal. Non-traditional to, you know, what a typical block looks like, but that's again where I just kind of, I love the adversity of running. So the race itself was quite a comfortable half, and then my sister was like, if you feel good, just go for it. So that second half, I just went for it and ran.
Well, I wanted to ask you, where do you go? So when you're in the difficult last 10 kilometers,
Yeah.
do you say, come on, Jack, push it, fuck you? Or do you use gratitude, like, so glad to be out here?
I think
legs
it's a bit of
working?
both. Like, it's, you know, spending time in that dark place, essentially. Really, that's where I feel most comfortable and where I spend a lot of my time running. So it's like, make a friend of the darkness, and it becomes, you know, someone that can help you and support you on that journey, because like marathons are hard
Yeah.
and you're going to be struggling. Like, that's kind of the point of what it is. So if you can learn to appreciate the darkness more, then it becomes easier to essentially work with it, essentially, instead of working against it.
Yeah. So when you came off the 306, was that all you had on the day?
I want to say no, because the last part of New York, you run the back lap of Central Park. So
Right.
you're running 2 downhills. And I think if I tried to run any quicker, I would have cramped up.
Yeah.
So if it was uphill, I think I would have been great. Yeah, certainly a little bit more to give, but I'd rather it that way, to know that there's more to get out of it. But also still, like, just sitting back and appreciating what I'd done.
Yeah.
I wanted to run 3:15. That's what I said the night before.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, coming out with 9 minutes underneath that was just a
Yeah,
lot of pride in just what that was. And kind of giving thanks to myself for being able to go out and do that.
So what's the next marathon?
That's a great question. Maybe Valencia, so I can really run sub 3. But that's just
Take the
greedy of me to
flattest course,
take the
yeah.
fastest course. I'd really love to run London. I think, you know, I'm very lucky and I got to run New York and to be a world major, and now I live in London, and I'd love to do, you know, I'd love to run the home race of the cities that I live in. So that would definitely be something that I'm excited to run next.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. If I was able to get you a ticket, but you had to raise £1,000, would you take it?
100%.
I think I can make that happen.
Hey, don't tempt me of a good time.
No, I had a friend, so we're raising money for Leukemia Care at the moment.
Yes.
So my ticket's also attached to a charity raise.
Yes.
Loving Leukemia Care. I've had Sophie on the podcast.
Yes.
She was a leukemia patient, so it's been fantastic.
Yes.
But my mate also got a leukemia ticket.
Yes.
But he's injured,
Okay.
and he's raised £1,200 already.
Yes.
So the ticket's transferable.
Wow.
So if you want it, it's yours.
I mean,
Well, there you go. We got a ticket, Craven. Jack's in the London Marathon.
wow.
I'll double check with the team at Leukemia
Okay.
and confirm,
Yeah.
but I'll see if I can
Yeah.
make it happen.
Whatever needs to be donated. I ran with Fred's team in New York, and Fred's team is part of Memorial Sloan Kettering, which is the largest cancer hospital in the US. And
Right.
I raised $5,000 last year for MSK and Fred's team. So
Wow, $5,000.
if there's a cause,
I mean,
running
it's
is bigger than yourself. So
100%.
it's part of building communities and helping others and allowing others to achieve, and that's the main goal, isn't it?
I think that's where London Marathon peaks above all other marathons.
Yes.
Because it's literally just all about the fundraising.
Yes.
I think they raised like £1 billion,
It's crazy.
which is madness. And then I went to watch last year.
Yes.
It's just charity after charity.
Yeah.
There's not a free space
Yes.
for you to be by yourself.
Yeah.
It's just crowd.
Yeah.
42 Ks of crowd.
It's phenomenal. Like, that's what New York was, and it's just the greatest experience I know. So is this your first marathon that you
This is my first single marathon. I did an Ironman last year,
Okay.
which had a marathon,
Yes.
but this is my first single event marathon.
Yeah, I mean, these large city marathons are like unlike anything you'll ever experience in your life. Like, just being an average Joe runner and being able to be amongst such a community of people, and
Yeah.
everyone's cheering on everyone to enjoy the moment and succeed. Like, nothing will take away from the experience you're about to have.
Do you find that you Do you chat to the other runners at all? Or is everyone still pretty focused?
I think everyone's still pretty focused. I'm also like struggling during the run as well. So
You're not going to pick a chat with the guy?
I'm not much of a talker, but you know, lots of high fives.
Yeah.
Lots of like,
Come on.
you know, you'll pick up a few people or you'll run with a group for a little bit.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's that community aspect of implicitly supporting each other.
Sure.
Not through words, but just through like picking each other up during the race. People are going to struggle. And just a few words of support or like a let's go along the way. Like, it's amazing what it does.
So if you had advice for me entering into my first marathon, what would it be?
Just enjoy it. I think it's a moment you'll be so thankful for once you get to the start line doing all the hard work. And I think don't forget it's an experience to have. Just as much of it is a race. You know, we're competitive people, but you know, remember what it took to get you there and appreciate yourself for showing up during the, you know, cold mornings and the long evening runs, because that's what it's about. It's about the finish line and getting the time, but you know, you made that time commitment to yourself to show up every day. Yeah. And a lot of people forget that, but you know, give thanks to yourself.
100%. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was epic. Sharp, brother.
Thank you.
That was sick. Well done.
Thank you.
Right, guys, that's the end of the episode with Jack Colquhoun. Thank you for watching.
Like and subscribe. Diet Starts Monday podcast. See you guys.
Let's go.